is, you know what it is?
Yourself.
Ourselves. Everything started from here. The biggest thing is right between here. And also the biggest challenge is right between here. It's what you do with it. See, when your business is up, it's easy to have great attitude. It's excited, you're excited. But when your business is down, it's what you do with it that will make you or break you. You know, one of the things I really, really admire about Samson, Tina, and Winnie, their persistence is unbeatable. Rain or shine, you'll find them out there. Doesn't matter if people say no to them, doesn't matter if people quit, guess what? You know, I'll give you a perfect example. I was having breakfast with my dad, I think yesterday or the day before, whatever. I was just sharing with my dad. I said how happy I was, and I was telling my dad. My dad said, wow, Tina's good. I said, Dad, most people only see the fruit. They don't see the challenges that she went through. There are many times you go to any meeting, people saw Tina, they went the other way. Tina, don't come to the meeting. Don't go to our meeting. Don't. I mean, there are people, but did she care? She act as, I mean, no, she doesn't act. She does as if she don't hear what people say. She still goes on. You don't want to hear about it, it's okay. I still talk anyway. It's a free country. See, you got to get to a point where you do not care what people say about you. You got to get, I mean, you got to get, some people are afraid to ask for discount. Some people are afraid to ask for this because what? Oh, I'm thin-skinned. It has nothing to do with your skin. Thick or thin, the same thing. You see, it's our internal, see, a lot of people, we tend to internalize what people are saying to us. I mean, it's a perfect example. We had a family gathering yesterday. If going back in my younger days, I probably would have internalized a lot of things. There's some of my siblings say about this and say about that. I could have chose to and internalize what they say about whatever. But I don't. I have become wiser. I cross a line. See, most people, when anybody, your prospect, say anything about you, we tend to take that stuff and we put it in our brain and we made it bigger than life. And our action act towards it as if it's bigger than life. And I hope it's not too complicated for you guys to understand. Is this coming across so far? So obstacles, we all have them now. There are indeed some challenges. If there's some issues, we will sit down, we'll deal with the issue, we'll find solution. But if other stuff, I suggest you get over it. And you got to be, one thing got to be very good on, one of the basics is be persistent. Okay? You have to be persistent. And be coachable. I remember Winnie had a leading on in the business a couple of months ago. When the business dipped, I told Winnie, I said, Winnie, you know what you need to do? Go brand new. Go get some new blood. And you know now, obviously, some people will say, well, where am I going to get my new blood? I've been doing this for a year. I exhaust my warm market. You know what Winnie said? Okay. And you know what she did? She went and found a whole bunch of new blood. It's what you put in here, guys. See, most of us walk around every day, so you got to be coachable. And in the success, I can see all the successful people, they're extremely coachable. Some of you are thinking, how in the world am I going to find new people? There is magic when you believe in something. And I'll give you several examples. One of my hobbies on Sundays is to walk. You know, I love to, you know, I used to live in North San Gabriel, which is very close to San Marino. And some of you know San Marino is very, you know, leafy, very well-established community, and I love San Marino. And so I would get myself on Sunday, I mean, a lot of people going dating and all that stuff. I was single, so I said, what I do on Sundays, I would leave the house at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll get lost until 5, 6 o'clock. And I'll be walking around with walk back then, we don't have any iPod or anything like that, we had the Walkman back then, okay? So I'll be with my Walkman jogging around all over San Marino. And I know all the houses.
Beautiful houses there.
And I still remember, my mom and dad would say to me, you know what, why don't you just stop dreaming? Why don't you put your feet firmly grounded on the floor and be real? Why do you have to be like, look, we have a decent house in San Gabriel, but why are you so crazy? You don't even make enough money to support yourself. Why don't you wake up? But I refuse. I said, Mom, you know, I see those people pulling out from the driveways. I said, they don't look any smarter than me. They don't look any better than me. So I said, I am going to get there one of these days. And she just thought I was nuts. But I kept believing. You know what? And I told myself, those were down times. And when I was down, you know what I did? I kept telling myself, I don't know how, but I know I'm going to be a multi-millionaire. I don't know how. If you ask me at that time, I don't even have enough money to go on vacation, let alone be a multi-millionaire. Are you with me so far? So I had to plan it so firmly in my head. I said, one of these days, I'm going to make it. But along the way, I'm not going to quit. I'm very conscious of what's happening around me. And you know what? I did it. Sometimes you don't know how. I still remember, I told myself, I said, I'm going to build a massive organization. I see these people build big teams before. I said, I too am going to do that. I said, someday I'm going to be on stage speaking to tens and thousands of people. When I haven't even spoken in front of 100 people. But I have put that in my head. But you know what? I did it. I had the pleasure of traveling to all these countries. Why? Because I believe in it. I didn't care. You need to really put that, but when you believe in something, a lot of people say, well, I can't find them. How am I going to find them? You know what? I pretty much exhausted all my warm market. But I still managed to build the biggest Hispanic team in that company. My first MLM company, I built the biggest Hispanic team, and I built the biggest team in Hawaii. I don't know a soul in Hawaii. I don't know anybody that are Hispanic. I just had that belief that I'm going to do it. So you know how I got the biggest Hispanic group? From a courtesy driver at Russ Neck, Pasadena. He was a shy courtesy driver. He led me to one of the pastor at his church. From the pastor, led me to one of this guy. Then we chased a big, huge group. And so when you have that belief, something magical happens that will lead you there. Like Winnie, Robert, and I, in the previous company, we went to Korea. And some of you heard the story, and I will tell the story again. We went to Korea for my first time to Korea. And I went there for a bit, and Robert and Winnie were with me to traveling to Asia. And so one of the stops was Korea. And so I told myself, man, I went there to recruit a big, big fish. At least that's what I was told.